Hey everyone, Taylor here. Today we will be discussing the polarities within astrology between the 12 zodiac signs. This is a part of a series I created called Astrology Simply Put. My goal is to make short videos about 10 minutes long of each topic we are discussing. I already made a video for the 4 elements, the 3 modalities, and how to find your birth chart yourself online, because that's a really good place to start. I'm going to keep it simple and short. This is in slideshow format, so you can see the words as I'm speaking, and we're just going to keep it really basic. So if this is helpful to you, please consider giving this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share with a friend, and I hope you enjoy. What does polarity mean? Simply put, polarity means opposite. You can think of the term polar opposite. In astrology, there are 12 signs in total, and each creates an aspect called an opposition, which is a 180-degree angle within the chart. This is an aspect of tension. The signs are of the same quality or mode, which are cardinal, fixed, or mutable, but they're different elements: fire, earth, air, and water. Although this is a point of tension, just as the well-known yin-yang symbol shows, both actually contain its polar opposite. The two are mutually dependent, and one cannot exist without the other. The purpose here is to learn from one another, find a balance, and integrate both poles rather than having one dominate the other. Polarity presents itself in many areas within astrology, but today we will be discussing polarity between the 12 signs. All you have to do to find the opposite sign is to go directly across the wheel, 180 degrees. These 12 are then divided into 6 pairs of opposing signs: Aries and Libra, Taurus and Scorpio, Gemini Sagittarius, Cancer, Capricorn, Leo, Aquarius, and Virgo, Pisces. As I mentioned previously, the purpose is to learn from one another, find a balance, and integrate both poles rather than having one dominate the other. With that said, I think it is very useful to understand that there are themes for each pair. In the next few slides, I'll give common themes between each pair. These descriptions are brief and they won't encompass the entire relationship, but I believe it is a good start to understanding the basics. Then you can continue to build upon the interpretations as you dive deeper into the zodiac. So first up, we have Aries and Libra. The theme here is relationships. Aries is me and the element of fire. Libra is you or us and is the element air. Aries rules the first house of self, ego, how we perceive ourselves, how the world perceives us upon first meeting. Aries is concerned with the self and independence. How is this going to affect me? Libra rules the 7th house of relationships, business partnerships, contracts, and public enemies. Libra is concerned with the other and the relationship between the two. How is this going to affect us? Both signs share the lesson of boundaries set by themselves and by others in their life. Have they established healthy ones, or do they trample over others unconsciously? Aries can learn from Libra how to think of the other and how to be more considerate. Libra can learn independence from Aries, and that you don't always need to inquire with someone else before you solidify a decision or opinion. Taurus and Scorpio. The theme here is possessions. Taurus is about holding on and is of the element earth. Scorpio is about letting go and is the element water. Taurus rules the 2nd house, which is acquiring material possessions, values, skills, work, and income. Taurus is concerned with tangible security via physical possessions and relationships, anything of value that stimulates the five senses and the pleasures of life. Scorpio rules the 8th house of merging, shared possessions, inheritance, death and rebirth, letting go, and transformation. Scorpio is concerned with emotional security, sought through possessions, partners, sex, exploring and embracing the taboo, merging or making investments that are of value, learning to release and let go in order to allow growth and transformation. Both signs share the lessons of when to remain loyal and steadfast, and when it is time to let go, release, and move on. Taurus can learn from Scorpio that even though letting go can feel painful, it is absolutely necessary to welcome in what's next. Scorpio also teaches Taurus to delve into the hidden, spiritual, intuitive side of life. Scorpio can learn from Taurus how to appreciate the fact that we have incarnated on this highly stimulating planet Earth, and that embracing the physical also has its level of depth and spiritual meaning and connection. Gemini and Sagittarius. The theme here is information. Gemini is about communication and the element air. Sagittarius is insight and the element fire. Gemini rules the 3rd house of communication, ideas, media, journalism, local travel, neighbors, and early education. Gemini is concerned with gathering a lot of information from multiple sources such as books, media, or people, acquiring knowledge, having interest in a wide variety of things, not staying in one place for too long, and seeking stimulation through language and the mind. Sagittarius rules the 9th house of beliefs, philosophy, long-distance travel, and higher education. Sagittarius is concerned with gathering knowledge through physical travel, mental travel such as philosophy, and exploring different cultures, then integrating knowledge gained and viewing the big picture, wanting to understand the meaning behind it. Acquiring information is important and natural for each sign, but what is done with the wisdom differs. Gemini can learn from Sagittarius that diving deeper into certain subjects are helpful when developing beliefs and faith. Gathering more information than the superficial level of information allows for deeper understanding and a more cohesive end product. Sagittarius can learn from Gemini to become more fluid and be less attached to information gained. Gemini teaches to only keep what is needed and leave the rest. Cancer and Capricorn. The theme here is security. Cancer is about nurturing and is the element water. Capricorn is about discipline and the element earth. Cancer rules the 4th house of private life, home, family, and the mother. Cancer is concerned with emotional security, home life, and the internal world. Capricorn rules the 10th house of public life, career, purpose, aspirations, and the father. Capricorn is concerned with material security, public status, and the external world. The theme of security runs deep with Cancer and Capricorn axis and is taken very seriously by both signs. Cancer can learn from Capricorn to be more discerning when it comes to the company that is kept and to set strong boundaries to increase confidence and focus. Capricorn can learn from Cancer to embrace emotion and intuition and all of its beauty and depth, which then in turn develops a solid foundation to build upon Cap's legacy. Leo and Aquarius. The theme here is expression. Leo embodies the individual and is of the element fire. Aquarius represents the community and is the element air. Leo rules the 5th house of creativity, self-expression, sex, joy, love, and children. Leo is concerned with self-expression, love, children, creativity, pleasure, and the present. Aquarius rules the 11th house of humanitarianism, the collective and community focus, friendships, and acquaintances. Aquarius is concerned with the group cause, organizations, humanitarian efforts, and the future. Both signs have a sense of unique character. The area in which this is expressed is in, you guessed it, opposite areas of life. Leo can learn from Aquarius that you don't need to care what others think and to break free from convention. Aquarius can learn from Leo that a strong sense of self and a love for oneself is quite healthy and absolutely necessary in order to show up fully for others and their community. Virgo and Pisces. The theme is service. Virgo is about improvement and the element earth. Pisces is about disillusion and the element water. Virgo rules the 6th house of physical health and healing via diet, exercise, and daily routine, and concerned with using data and details in practical, efficient ways to make improvements. Pisces rules the 12th house of spiritual and subconscious health, connection to higher power, spiritual and energetic healing. Pisces is concerned with dissolving the idea of separation and nurturing a connection to a higher source. To be of service and to offer healing is the common theme between Virgo and Pisces. Virgo can learn from Pisces that sometimes the answers we seek are within. Trusting intuition, checking in with your higher self, embracing connection with a higher source, and exploring the subconscious provides a deeper sense of stability and reassurance. Pisces can learn from Virgo there is magic within the mundane. By grounding oneself and embracing the earthy, physical plane brings about a strong sense of awareness that protects oneself while also managing how and where energy is exerted. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support this channel, you can like this video, subscribe, and/or utilize the thanks button below.